New England at New York Jets. Is Robert Saleh on the hot seat?
Well, again, we certainly did not think so, right? Like if you guys said, it was one of those kind of things we'd laugh about coming into the season, like, oh, Robert Saleh on the hot seat. How could this happen? Well, the only situation basically where it would have allowed for this to happen has happened. A-Rod not playing, hurt, and now Zach Wilson's getting all the reps and losing the locker room. And it's exactly what's happened. Again, because I don't know if a lot of people may not be in the loop all the way on this yet. But apparently, again, I don't know. I cannot confirm any of this for truth, but apparently, allegedly, you know how this goes. But he's losing the locker room because he's really riding high on the belief in Zach. And as you can tell, obviously, with everyone else on this roster, as has been the narrative forever now, this has been. They don't believe in Zach. The roster themselves does not believe in Zach. There is a huge teams that should be connected like this. They have no connection. They don't believe that there's no belief as a unit in the quarterback. So we're at a crossroads here, and the Sal is either going to make the right decision, and obviously he has a good relationship with Zach, but he's going to have to push away from that and kind of get rigid on the stance of like, we need to do something immediately. I need to have a backup plan. And if he doesn't, I do think he'll probably find himself looking for and being hired. Obviously, he's a good guy. He knows football, but looking for a new job somewhere else after the season, because we talk about as a whole, the Jets, and again, let me be clear. This is tough because it also very much hinges on how the A-Rod situation goes. A-Rod believes in him very much, right? That's what makes this tough. Is it's like, okay, is A-Rod all the way on him? And that's where I'm sure the decision would have much to come down with how A-Rod feels about the situation too. But I do know that that's the situation right now, is that he apparently is losing the locker room, and I just can roll with what I know.
Yeah, to be honest, like this offense is like abysmal without Aaron Rodgers. And like the O-line wasn't doing them any favors, but like their skill position was so talented. And like you see Garrett Wilson suffering, you see Breece Hall suffering. The Jets backfield had 38 yards. Dalvin Cook and Breece Hall should not have 38 yards. Total offense, 171. The O-line has to be better. They're 2 for 14 on third down. I don't necessarily think Robert Saleh is on the hot seat, but at the same time, like, here's my thing. And my dad brought this up to me, and it was a very good point that I didn't think about. Why did nobody plan if Aaron Rodgers went down? Why did they not have a vet in that locker room that said, what if Aaron Rodgers goes down? Because we know what the Zach Wilson Jets are. Why did they not go, even if you're trading a 5th round pick for a vet quarterback, why the fuck are you not doing it? Now this is what you get. Their defense, which was supposed to be the bright side of their team, they give up 358 yards to a very mid Patriots offense. They got 0 sacks and 0 turnovers. They only allowed 15 points. But I feel like you have to generate a turnover. You know what this offense is.
They're stout in the red zone, but they've been bending to the red zone. And again, the point is that necessarily does not work forever. Every single week, you can't count on bending to we never let, we're not going to let them in.
Bend, don't break.
You can't count on that every single week being perfectly executed. So
the Jets are screwed as long as they have Zach Wilson as their quarterback. It's going to be the same as last year. Trevor Siemian is not their savior.
Oh, let me tell you, from a personal perspective, he absolutely is not the savior. Not that he can't do some things, but he certainly is not the savior of a team. I'm literally telling you from perspective of a team that kind of tried the same thing. No.
All right, let's talk mid. The Patriots offense, they're okay. The running game had a nice day. Zeke had a nice day. But again and again, like you see that they are lacking that true star in offense. And in games where there's great teams, they're going to struggle to put up points. They had 358 yards of offense, but half the points came from field goals. So it's like you have all these yards and you're not scoring. So it's like, I understand that the Jets defense is good and like the bend don't break, but it's like, I don't know, against another team with a competent offense, you're losing. The defense, great job generating pressure. But they needed to, in my opinion, to make this game a little bit more like out of reach, they needed to generate a turnover, which they didn't do. I've said this all year. They're a solid team. The offense is average. The defense will keep them in games, but unless a star emerges, the Patriots are just a middle of the road team.
They're literally perfect candidates to fit into that territory of just, and they're kind of like we said about certain teams now where they're gonna just be very into that, not getting a high enough draft pick to like completely turn everything around, but you're also not gonna like be terrible. So it's like a very weird territory to be in. And I also feel it's like a weird point how I feel about Mac Jones, because he shows you some good and he shows you some bad. And he just doesn't show you enough.
Yeah,
it's kind of like a weird thing. Also, he's played some good defenses. It's like, I guess I kind of still have to wait to form a full opinion on Mac Jones this year, but there's definitely going to be a much more fully formed opinion by the end of the year. Um, I'll say give him credit where it's due for a second. Ever since I said the Patriots run game was quote unquote, literally I
Yeah.
called it, just I didn't have a word for it. I said it was garbage, basically. Definitely turned it around a lot. Starting to really actually produce on the ground. Not anything crazy, not anything world beating, but enough to get the job done against a good defense. So I'd say, yeah. But the Patriots are still a middle of the road team. The Jets are on an absolute spiral. And that's really all you can take away from this game at the end of the day.